Whether you think you can or can't, just know you're right. Arrange your mindset and stand at different heights. Yeah, we move the needle from E to full.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Move the Needle. I'm your host, Randall Rutledge, and in today's episode, I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Alex Estrada. And Alex is the owner of Invested Real Estate here in San Antonio, entrepreneur that we just kind of crossed paths, just being out there in San Antonio, both kind of hustling and shaking things up, and realized, hey, you seem like a pretty successful guy, and we got to talking and learning more about Alex and his business and his mindset, all this stuff. It really just got me intrigued and said, hey, love to have you on the show and have you talk a little bit and see if we can extract some value for the viewers. So start out, I want to hear a little bit more about Alex from a personal standpoint, just generally the things that you like to do. I know you like, scuba diving, skydiving, shooting guns. I call you an adrenaline junkie a little bit, but
yes, that's fair to say. That's fair to say. Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it. It was really nice meeting you and running into you at the Cigar International. It was like cigar at first sight. Yeah. Right. We just hit it off. So I run a real estate company here in San Antonio. I'm 33 years old, been doing real estate for over 5 years now, full time. I fell in love with it. I mean, I just enjoy the industry and what it brings me, the freedom and opportunities that it brings me. I love to go skydiving. I love to go scuba diving. Going into those sports, I actually had a fear of water, so it's why I conquered that fear by getting scuba certified. Right, I kind of had that fear of emptiness in the water. I don't know. I think that's a real phobia.
I still have that phobia.
Yeah, yeah. Stay out of the water. The stories you tell me, stay out of the water. I also had a fear of heights, right? And so, and I decided, what else? After conquering, the scuba diving certification, I was like, man, well, what else can I do? What else is there that I can conquer? And the whole fear, fear of heights just had me going in the skydiving direction. And, first time I did it, I kind of got tricked into it. I think I told you about that story. Before you know it, now I'm going through the certification, and I love it. It's really great to be able to go out there and challenge yourself and discover who you are by doing these sports and, just living life. You really find out who you are when you go and do these type of things for yourself. Going back to my business, I primarily focus on wholesaling real estate. And I use that wholesaling capital that I bring in to fuel other investments like fix and flips, seller financing, creative financing, subject twos, and then just, simply building my rental portfolio. And, it's just been such a great blessing so far. Everything's been going well.
So I wanna go back. You were talking about how you're actually scared of water, right? And then you go from I'm scared of water to I'm gonna get scuba certified, and then not just like getting scuba. Like you've told me, you went down some dark places. You went pretty deep. You went 100 feet before. You went from not being scared of water to advanced scuba diving.
Yes.
You're kind of a person that seems like when you go all in, you really go all in.
Yes, I do. Yeah, one thing about me is I don't. Sometimes I always try to push the limit. I push the limit, and I try to push beyond it. Sometimes when I find something's not as scary as I first thought it is, I just that fear just goes away really quickly for me, and I just try to see how far I can take something. And that's just kind of the mindset that I go into with everything, with the business, with my sports, and just with my family as well. My kids, they were kind of had the same mindset about, not trying to go into a big pool of water because they're scared, or, not really trying to climb up on trees because they're scared of heights, and, kind of recognizing that in my kids kind of made me want to, conquer my fear, so that way I can push them to do the same and get them to understand that, things are not always as scary as they seem. Once you do them and you conquer them, you get this sensation, man, I can't believe I can do this now, and it just pushes you, and just me as a person, it just makes me want to just do more and see how further I can take something. Sometimes I push things too far. When I used to have a motorcycle, I used to be too comfortable on it that I started getting reckless and hitting 150, 160 miles per hour on highways like it's nothing, and kind of going through cars and stuff like that. But I definitely don't recommend doing that, especially in San Antonio. People are just are very aggressive on the roads, as I would say. So but that's just kind of the mindset that I have with everything that I do. It's just finding who you are just by pushing and getting yourself out of your comfort zone and staying out of that comfort zone, really.
I'm a big believer. I mean, everything happens outside of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I'm naturally, most people don't know this, I'm naturally a very shy, introverted person. Even to be in sales, do podcasting, it's just naturally, my natural personality type. So I'm constantly out of my comfort zone, right? Mm-hmm. Like every single day, it doesn't get any easier. I have to push myself, get out of my comfort zone. I used to have something on my desk that had a big circle, and it said comfort zone, right? And then around that, it would say like money, happiness, success, relationships, etc. And it was just a visual representation to keep in front of me at all times, so I could remember, like, Randall, nothing good happens in your comfort zone, right? You're not growing. You're not going to get any better. You can't get hurt in your comfort zone, right? But putting yourself out there, taking those risks in life, that's how you're going to level up. That's how you're going to grow. And that's how eventually you're going to have more things that you enjoy, is by getting out of your comfort zone, testing those things. So, love that you conquer your fears head on. I feel like a lot of people, they're going to run from their fears and just go, this is who I am. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of water. And not you. Like you said, you're really going to attack that. Okay?
Yes.
So I want to transition a little bit to talk a little bit about business. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It is not easy at all. When I meet other entrepreneurs, I instantly have respect for them, because it's totally different to know I have to go out there and make my own money, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to pay my bills. I don't have a job where I can just show up and go through the motions and get a paycheck. Literally, it's on me, right? Every dollar I have, every dollar I don't have, it's on me. So take me into your journey into entrepreneurship, and really there in the beginning. And I don't know this to be true, but I think most entrepreneurs really start out the same way, and it's tough. It's scary. It's hard. You think, I'm never going to make it. I'm not going to be successful. I'm assuming that is your story, but you tell me, you're starting out in entrepreneurship. What was that like for you?
Well, going far back, since I couldn't ever remember when I was young, I kind of, the environment that I grew up in, I didn't really have many options. And my environment, I felt at the time, limited me because of what was at my disposal, how my family was financially. Now, my mom, I love my mom. She did the best she can, but we didn't really have a safe upbringing, because of the neighborhood I grew up in, and I just always felt like I just stood out from everybody else. Not trying to like sound conceited, but I just didn't feel like, like this was supposed to be where I'm at, forever, where I'm supposed to stay in this environment. And over time, I started realizing, like I just kind of wanted more of a sense of control over my life and what I want to do and what I want to make. And as I grew older, I started hanging around with people who kind of were falling into drugs and alcohol. And I've recently kind of went back in that area because of real estate. Sometimes I fall back into my neighborhood sometimes, and seeing people still stuck where they're at and not, nobody took control of their life. They allowed the environment to kind of control them. I just seen that, I've always been telling myself how proud I am for like kind of getting out of that and finding a sense of control for myself. And, as I got older, I just wanted to make as much money as I can, I mean, not being not having nothing growing up just makes you naturally want to have more, right?
Of course.
For some people, they don't. Some people are just happy and stuck in that mindset. I'm fine with living check to check.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I could never be complacent about where I'm at because I just always want more. And so, I used to, since I was like 12 years old, I was always like doing some type of sales. I knew I was just really good at sales once I, realized how fun it was for me to make my own money, and seeing people at a 9 to 5. Like, I don't have nothing against 9 to 5 people. Okay. Hey, that's what you like to do. Hey man, more power for you, but for me,
not for you.
No, not for me.
No.
I don't like to allow people to dictate how much I can make. I feel like I'm worth so much. I feel like I'm worth $1 million an hour. That's just my mindset. And, and that's what I feel like I can get, and I feel like when you're working for somebody else, you never are at your full potential with them, because when you're either never appreciated, right, you're never getting paid what you're worth, and what you're doing for somebody else is not really helping you for yourself and your family in most cases, right?
A lot of times.
Yes, and so I just wanted different, having that sense of control. I started learning more about entrepreneurship. And just like a lot of entrepreneurs, you kind of tend to go through a lot of jobs, a lot of different hustles to try to figure out what your niche is. And for the longest time, I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, man, why can't I not keep a job? And it's not that I was getting fired. It was me quitting, right? Yeah. And then I realized that, it's just never for me. Every time, I get into a new job, I always ask myself, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this something that I'm going to be passionate about? Is this something I can potentially move up in? And in most jobs these days, there's no growth in companies like that. People don't even want people to grow within their business. They want them to stay where they're at while they get bigger, while they grow their business, right? And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people fall into these days. And, as I got older, I just really started realizing, I was like, no, I obviously cannot work for somebody else. Yeah. Because one, I have an authority problem, right? I just, me being the observant person that I am, when I go into new businesses, I always look at what they're lacking in, and I'm just always telling myself, man, like, I could just build better. Yeah, I can do better. I was like, man, if they took more pride into the people that worked for them, man, they would avoid a lot of hassles, right? Just by doing simple things like that. And I just knew one day I was just gonna build a team over time, and so I've done it all pretty much. I've done, as far as jobs I've been into, I've been in the hospitality business, the restaurant business. I did door-to-door sales. I was selling Kirby vacuums. I was the guy knocking, trying to sell you a $3,000. I was in the hood trying to sell these people $3,000 Kirby vacuums. Now, I would say they are really good vacuums, but I don't, like, that wasn't the market. Nobody in the hood wants a $3,000, vacuum. They barely pay their bills. So I pretty much done it all. I even did oil field. I did, the oil industry, oil field. I did, the train tracks. I was there. I was doing that for a while. And then I started getting into general contracting, right? I started kind of as around my 20 years of age, I started trying to go into business for myself, doing something, right? Whether it was e-commerce, I was looking at that for a while. And man, I just kind of fell into more and more what I'm actually doing now, because as you do these things, you start realizing what you love and what you don't love, because you are trying different things, right? And that's what a lot of people don't do, is they don't, I've talked to a lot of people that don't pull the trigger on what they want to do. And so they get stuck in this mentality where, they pretty much procrastinate over a period of time because they're scared to try something, thinking that they're going to fail at it, and they're over here also stuck and not knowing what they want to do in life. And I tell people all the time, like, just pick something and just do it. Who cares? Who cares if you're going to fail? Because doing so, you're going to realize what you like and what you don't like, and you'll have more clarity doing that. right? And so, doing the financial service industry, I told you I was doing that. At the same time, I was also doing the general contracting business. And I realized with general contracting business how much I love being involved with the houses, fixing them up, making them look nice, seeing how beautiful I made a house, and I just knew I was on the right track. But I knew that I did not want to do general contracting because of how much money you have to put up. And sometimes you have to place liens on people's houses, mechanical liens, because they don't want to pay, or maybe somebody is just not ever satisfied. There's people out there that you just can't satisfy, right? So, some people are just like really OCD. Nah, this has to be this way, and spend all this money. So the amount of money I had to invest into that business and the return I was getting, it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So, listening to you tell that, I'm like kind of thinking about it and taking it all in as you're saying it. And there's a lot of valuable lessons and a lot of good golden nuggets in there. Right?
Yeah, a lot.
Because like you said, nobody wants to be that guy. Well, you were doing this and then you were doing this and you were doing this, right? But at the same time, it's like, I've got one life. I've got to figure out what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, what I want to do. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I try a few things, right? And I think what holds people back is the fear of failure, right?
Yes.
They're really scared of failing, but in reality, failure is your friend, right? Failure helps you learn, helps you grow. I know I wouldn't be the man I am today without my failures, and I'm sure you could probably the same thing.
A lot for the most part, people just try to avoid the failure, right? I've learned to welcome it, and I know that kind of sounds a little cliche, but not in the sense where I'm like, I hope I fail, right?
Yeah,
no, it's more like I hope I learn these lessons really quickly, so that way I can grow really fast, right?
Yeah.
And that's what people need to have that mindset of. They need to welcome it, because it's not that, like you're going to fail and, all hell's going to break loose, but it's more like you have to fail so you know what works and doesn't work. And that's what it means to be a business owner. You have to try different things as you start up these businesses. And over time, doing so and learning from these failures the first time, you'll be surprised on how fast you propel yourself, because not only are you accepting and welcoming this fear, but you're also learning the first time, right? And a lot of people try to live their life and avoid failure so much because of also they care what people think, right? And
that's the main thing.
As an entrepreneur, you kind of have to have that, fuck it mentality and just do what you want to do in life. And, some people just don't have that, so.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I mean, you either win or you learn. Yeah. You know what I mean? There really is no such thing as failure, because failure is going to teach you those valuable lessons that the next time you won't fail. You're going to be more prepared, right?
Yes, but it's important that you learn the first time, right? Some people don't learn the first time. They keep thinking, no, it's going to work. I'm like, no, man, you already know this doesn't work. Try it in a different way. That's like the key to that, accepting the failure and learning from it the first time. Most people don't do that. It's crazy.
Yeah. So want to change speeds a little bit, but something that we've kind of created a common bond, if you will, is we're both very passionate about entrepreneurship. We both have that personality of like, I need to work for myself, for multiple different reasons, like you said.
Yeah.
But one thing that we're both passionate about is the people that work for us. We don't want them to feel like they are, trapped in a 9-to-5, right? Every single person that works in my organization, I want to give them the opportunity to make $1 million too, right? I don't want to hold them down. I want to empower them to be successful and make more money. I don't want you to work for me forever and just work for me. I want you to have dreams and goals, and I want to help you achieve those. And the way I think that that's possible is through team building. Building a team. Something that I'm very passionate about, something that you're very passionate about. But kind of talk to me about the reasons why you want to build a team. I know it's not financial reasons. Obviously, to grow your business is great, but growing other people is a lot more fun. Talk to me about team building and your thought process on how you want to treat your guys that work within your organization.
Okay. Well, to me, it's really important that I just, I find fulfillment in just changing people's lives. That's just who I am. I'm very giving. A lot of the people in the industry that know me in San Antonio, they always talk highly about how how much I give to people and how I'm always willing to go out of my way for people. And to me, I just find happiness in doing that. So, naturally to me, part of building a business is just what I find exciting is also building a team, seeing people come in, and they come into my business, this current person that they are, and then seeing them, how exciting it is for them to change and see the wins in them. I just find that to be just exciting to me, to be able to see what you can do with somebody and how well you can teach them for them to change their own lives. I've always felt for the longest time that a lot of people, even though I had some great influences in my life, I didn't really have people to guide me, or I didn't really have a mentor going into this. And I feel like being able to provide that for my guys is a big thing, and something that people should understand that they should be doing to their team is, being that help to your team that you wish you had, right? And that's kind of the mindset that I have with my team. So to me, it's important that these guys get paid. It's important to me that they grow with what I give them. One of the things that I provide in my team is that I provide on Saturdays, so my guys come in Monday through Friday, right? And 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., right? With the legally, I had to give them a lunch, right? So they get their lunch at 12, right? And on Saturdays, they come in from 9 a.m. to 3:30. But on every other week, Saturday, every month, we do, financial education. I teach them how to manage their money better. I teach them about investing. I put a plan together. If they wanted to, sometimes they'll come to me and be like, and tell me, hey, Alex, I want to do owner financing. Where should I start? How should I start? Right. And so I provide that education to them. And I also provide a transactional funding if they wanted to do their first fix and flip. I come in as a silent partner because I'm just getting the lending for them. And I give them, and we just go 50-50 on that fix and flip. But I guide them, I teach them, I pretty much hold their hand so that way they can grow. And that's just I feel like some people have it in them to do for their team, and some people don't really care for that because they don't really find the excitement in fulfilling other people's, goals. And I recognize that with some businesses. And to me, it's just very important. It's just who I am as a person. And, I love helping my team better themselves, not just, financially, but physically and mentally as well. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really just a person building a team that has to be passionate enough and find happiness and fulfillment in helping other people. And I think that's really important about building a team is if you're going to build a team, you should really have that mindset. Mm-hmm. Some people don't have that. That's why they can't build a team. Yeah, because they lack that want, that fulfillment in helping people, right? Yeah.
What it comes down to is, in my mind, is servant leadership, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going to be in a leadership role, it cannot be about you. It's about the other people that you're leading, and you're more like a servant to them, to help, to really help them, guide them. But I'm the same way. I'm a person that came from humble beginnings and, became a successful entrepreneur. And like all you want more than anything is to give people that same gift, give them that freedom, give them that confidence that, you've been able to build up over time. So love leadership, love team building, love pouring into people. It's my favorite thing about what I get to do is literally helping other people. So we got one more topic that I want to hit on. This is going to be a little bit of a curveball. I don't know if I don't think you've ever maybe never been considered a subject matter expert in this area before, but it's something I noticed about you. A couple of different transactions, especially with you and your woman around, and it was really just the way that you treated her. Okay, oh, yes. And so I want you to talk a little bit about your mindset on relationship and how you kind of, as a man, like what are you doing to try to be different to, show your woman, hey, like I really care about you, you mean a lot to me, and just kind of give me some nuggets there.
Okay, I would say I do like your taco socks, by the way.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
We can talk about them later.
Yeah. The reason why I treat the woman that I'm with, the queen that she is, growing up the way I did, I didn't really have a father figure there for me, and I always just felt like I had like daddy issues. For what, I don't know him, right? But I knew that one day I always just wanted to have a family, and it's just, not having a structured, family situation. It just became really important to me that, that having kids, that I'm there for my kids the way that I wish my father, my biological father, should have been. And I just strive just to be that version of what I wanted in my life. I strive to be that person for my kids, because our family had a lot of bad cycles, have a long history of bad cycles, right? And I just got really just tired of seeing my family the way they are, and not in a bad way where like I don't like my family, like I love my family, but it's just
want to
habits,
improve it. You want to make it better.
Yeah, and so I just became passionate about just wanting to have that for my kids, and being the best version of myself for my future wife, for the future partner that I have. Because when I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking at them as a potential business partner as well, right? So because I want to have the business I'm growing, I'm making it into a family business. I just always knew that I have to have somebody that's going to reciprocate what I give them. And when I found the love of my life that I currently have, I just knew off the top how she is. One, she comes from a family where her parents have been together since they were teenagers.
Yeah.
And that is what they shown her as a standard of what she should have for herself. And I happen to come from an opposite family, childhood and environment where I wanted that as well, because I didn't have that. So when we ran into each other, it became a perfect fit for us. And I have a lot of women in my family, and the men that they've dated and they've had in their lives weren't the best men.
Yeah.
And I just knew, having a daughter as my firstborn, I just became so passionate about making sure that my daughter knew exactly what kind of man she needs, and I also knew how important it is that I treat my woman that same way that I would expect my daughter to want somebody to treat her, right? And so, I took that to heart, and I just developed myself into a person that attracted a woman like that, because I wanted it. I knew me as the loyal person, and me being such a giver, I knew that not everybody deserved what I had to offer as a partner, right? And so, it was important to me that I was very picky about who I got myself involved with, because there's no way in hell that I'm going to build a business and somebody's going to take half of it. Like, no, I don't want another child, right?
Yeah.
I wanted a business partner. When I look at women, I try to distinguish if there's somebody that I can build something with. And, my girlfriend, Monica, she's definitely that person, right? And the fact that she has her own goals, she has her own, things going on with herself, to me, that means a lot, that person I'm with is involved with always trying to improve themselves. And, so I'm just also old school. I'm old fashioned. I don't like a lot of the new standards for society on how men are and how some women are, in this generation. And I'm always felt like I'm kind of an old soul, is what they say.
Yeah.
I believe in asking the father for their daughter's hand in marriage. I believe in chivalry, always giving my girlfriend flowers just about every time I see her. I damn near have a flower shop subscription. I told them they should have that for me.
That's what I noticed. I noticed you buy her flowers a lot, right?
Yes,
and,
yes.
I know, see it in person, see it on social media, but it doesn't happen a lot. A lot of guys don't do that stuff, and that's what sparked that question. I think like I said, I think you got you a good life partner. I see the way you really respect her and treat her, and it's not something you see a whole lot in today's world. So I just wanted to touch on that for a second.
Also, I would also add the reason why I treat her so, why I put her on the pedestal with me is because I know, the fact that I love her so much, I wouldn't want her to think that I'm just any other man. Like, I want her to know that, if she ever thinks about leaving me, no other man is ever going to do what I do and the standard I set for her.
Above and beyond.
You know what I'm saying? So I told her, I was like, babe, because she'll ask me, she's like, babe, well, like, why do you treat me so good like this? I was like, well, why not? I was all like, well, one of the things is just that, if you ever think about leaving me, just know you're never going to find another person like me and how well I treat you to somebody else that you're going to stay with me. It's just to make sure I'm locking you in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that mentality, and that's served you well in business, from a customer service standpoint of like, I'm going to go so far over and above like what you're needing and what you're asking. I'm going to provide so much value to you that you can't say no. Like you're going to say yes, we're going to do business together. Mm-hmm. We're going to do repeat business together. You're going to send me referral business because you're so happy with the job that I'm doing, right? Mm-hmm. So I can just see that kind of bleeds over into all areas of your life and your relationships of I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm always going to do my best. I'm here to conquer and to take over. I don't do anything half-assed. I do everything all in. And so, that's definitely what I respected about you, why I wanted to have you, on the show to kind of tell your story. I think you've done a fantastic job today portraying that and, helping our viewers. So before we close it out, just give everybody kind of quickly where can they find you? How can they contact you? How can they look you up on social media? If they are in San Antonio looking for help, with real estate, how can we get in touch with you?
Should I give my contact information?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so just as a reminder, I'm in real estate. So if anybody's ever looking to sell their home, maybe because of it's an inheritance, maybe they owe a lot of taxes, maybe they just want to liquidate their portfolio and get rid of it for whatever reason. If you're thinking about selling your house, land, commercial property, if it makes money, makes sense, I'm gonna look at it, right? So I'm very diverse in what I buy and what I pick up. But you can definitely reach out to me at via text or cell phone. I would say definitely text me because I do a lot of training with my team. I'm heavily involved with training with my team. You can reach out to me at 210-717-7458, or you can send an email to me at deals for Alex. The 4 is the actual number 4 at gmail.com. You can reach out to me there, or you can always. I have an open door policy. As long as you give me a heads up, I always welcome anybody to come talk to us. Maybe you might want to learn, maybe join the team and see what we're about, and kind of take some knowledge to help you grow as a person, or however you want to do it. I have an open door policy, and I have an office off of Walsham and 35. It's 4407 Walsham Road, Suite 205. You can definitely come and stop by. I always welcome people. I definitely get a lot of people that come to my office just about every month. So we welcome you. So don't be shy, right? Just reach out to me via email or via text. We're very responsive. So we're not gonna leave you hanging. Right?
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, you guys definitely get in touch with Alex if you need anything, real estate here in San Antonio. We want to thank you guys for all of the support, coming and watching the show, supporting us, the comments, the shares, the reviews. They really do mean a lot. And as always, please like, comment, and share. Share is the most important part of what we're doing here. Most likely you have somebody on your friends list that can use this information. This can be very, very valuable to their life, and they're just sitting there maybe going through a tough time, maybe having a bad day, and they need a little positivity, maybe a little story, to kind of help them get out of their comfort zone, face their fears, everything we talked about today. So please like, subscribe, and share. Like I said, share being the most important. We want to thank you guys again for tuning in. That is this episode of Move the Needle with Mr. Alex Estrada.
Yes, sir.
That is it. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, we move the needle, from E to full, move the people, from move the needle, from E to full, move the people,